Here's something motivational for you. If you click off of this, you're an idiot.
A better you starts today.
All right. Now that we've had our fun and games, and by we, I mean me. Hey, you can't spell me without turning the W upside down. Have I bent your mind already? I've obviously bent my throats. Here is something that you, my friend, must do in life if you want to be successful. If you do not do this, you will not be successful. This is how integral it is. This is the core metric unit of what makes a successful individual in society. Here it is. I want you to make this part of your identity right now. In fact, as a quick general piece, because we do have a bunch of people here, and I assume that the other ones have done it in their success journals already. They have written down who they think they are, because whatever they write down as who they think they are, let's be honest, it's probably pretty honest. Whatever you write down about, if you just write down, fuck yes, I'm a legend, like, who else are you lying to? You actually do think that, don't you? So we just want like an accountant's book of who you think you are, because who you do think you are is going to be fairly close to who you are. You will have a bunch of annoying habits that you'll probably never know about because people will just sit there and grin and bear it. Doesn't that make you paranoid in life? That always makes me paranoid as well. It's just like, somebody's noticed me biting my nails. But yes, that's what we want. What we want you to do is, first off, to write that down, what you think you are. Who are you? Ooh, deep. Actually, there's a lot of deep shit here, all right? Don't make fun of me. That's my job at you. But the other one is, I really want you to add this into your identity. In fact, this is something that if you are one of these people that's just like, I don't know what to incant, this is something that you should be incanting, because this is success. Success comes from somebody who has solved problems. Now, in the global world, what is that really? That is some company like your BHPs, like your Rio Tintos, that are able to move huge quantities of iron ore from one place to the other. Whether they do it ethically or not is a completely different story. That's what we're talking about here. In fact, that's what we never talk about on Jordan Shanks, because that's not conducive to self-help at all. No. But yes, now that is part of it, but that's like the spiritual gains. As I really want to get on a t-shirt, don't you think? It's just like, Friendly Geordie's just going to get you spiritual gains. Not Friendly Geordie's, sorry, different person. I know we look the same, but we're secretly twins. But that other twin obviously just didn't do as well in life because they didn't follow Jordan Shanks' advice. It goes full circle, doesn't it? But yeah, BHP is just able to get out steel and iron ore and all these other basic minerals to the rest of the world that the rest of the world needs to make a lot of tangible physical things. That is why it is so rich, because it is solving so many people's problems across the planet, isn't it? Because it's doing it cheaper, faster, more efficiently, something that they need. That is the core of why they are successful. Here's how you're going to be successful. In direct proportion to how much you are solving somebody's problem, you are going to be successful. Now, you can solve the problem of very rich people, which a lot of people do, like when they're just like, I'm a French bulldog walker specifically. Or you can go down the cheaper route, which is, yeah, get your butts in here, $5 a pop, I'm going to walk 20 at a time. You can do either of those things. They are both problems, and they need to be solved. But always, and this is actually something that both proves a Friendly Geordie's point and something that I read recently, how much does this sum up the ABC? How everybody always thinks, oh yeah, no, it's this independent source, and or at the very least, like sometimes like, it's just begging for funding and it doesn't have the funding. No, you know what an effective ABC CEO's job is? It's to go to the government and say, what problems do you need solved? What do you need? What can this media institution do for you, the government? Which just proves the Friendly Geordie's point that they're just a biased servant of the government, never have been nothing else. That is exactly what they are. Everything else is brainwashing, which is actually is a very big service to the government to sit there and be like, no, this is just impartial information. So anyway, but that is solving the government's problem. That's why it gets its $1 billion a year. Let's be honest. It's solving the government's problem. So, first off, what you need to understand very quickly is, let's just do this. And Chris Pine had it right with, quote, I'm a fixer. I fix things. That's why he rose so high in the Liberal Party because he was just fixing things. He was solving problems. It doesn't matter where you are. Honestly, your economic utility is in direct proportion to what problems you can solve and how much they are needed, and by what quantity as well. It is like that kind of thing of just like problem times quantity times necessity equals dollars. And also, let's be honest, utility. People that are problem solvers never feel bad about themselves because there is always just this little pang of yes, because every time you solve a problem, what do you get? You should know this, Gen Z, because you're always doing your little diction things about like vaping, how do I stop that, man? And let's be honest, none of you are interested. You're all pissed off that it got off it. Babies. I am too. Anyway, the thing is, what you are looking for there is a dopamine hit. What do you get a dopamine hit from? Solving a problem. You get a dopamine hit from cleaning your room. You get a dopamine hit every time you fulfill a task. You get a dopamine hit every time you start going on a task and solving it. That's the other thing. When you start out at self-help, like this is so strange. And I used to always sit there and not be one of these. I used to watch other self-help gurus that would be like, I sleep for 16 hours a day. In fact, I used to sleep for 16 hours a day. Now I sleep for 20 hours a day, and I work for 4. They're reverse koalas. That's what I'm trying to say. Does that make more sense? Fuck that up so hard. They are saying that they work for 20 hours a day, they sleep for 4 hours a day. And now, I'm not at that level, I'm not that psycho, but I'm pretty close. I'm pretty damn close. I work for a minimum of 16 hours a day. I'm always working all the time. And it's because it is just so satisfying and rewarding solving problems. Doing those little puzzles in life. That is what motivation is. Motivation is solving puzzles. That's all it is. And there's the direct link there. So, when you are problem solving, not only are you solving your own problems, you're solving society's problems, and you are getting rich in the process because there are so few problem solvers in the world. Most people just create problems. That's why the problem solvers are so rich, because they're just like, okay, man, Jesus, now they've just ran into the rail. Okay, now we need to come up with a buffer of a rail. Okay, there you go. Now you can drive through it. That's what's happening most of the time. So you need to make that at the core of your identity. Before you even know what problems you're going to solve, you need to understand that you are aiming to be a problem solver. You are making that part of your identity. You are a problem solver. Problem solvers always want to be kept around in organizations. Anyone that just creates problems immediately, they go. What is a corporation? Really? It is just somebody sitting there being like, oh, fuck, now I've got all these. Okay, it's easier for me to get an accountant. You just solve all of that. Oh, fuck, okay. Well, all right, well, the payroll will just solve that one. There you go. You solve that problem. All anyone is doing in an organization ever is solving problems, whether you know it or not. You need to know it. You need to be aware of it, and you need to start looking for problems in your life that you can start solving. And the thing is, when you get good at this, not only just the identifying part, which is always half the battle, but then the other half of just, I think that works, yeah. That, your little chip moves of, put that in the termite, man, yeah, got termites. When you solve that problem, you're on a roll. You are going to be able to solve an easy problem. It's just exactly the same as your auntie that always just starts with those 64 puzzle pieces, and then every Christmas after that, you can always just go, there you go, there's an impossible, and they'll be like, not impossible for me. Because you just get more competent at it. You need to get competent at the basic core metric of what any success you get in life is, which is problem solving. You need to be a problem solver. You need to be able to identify other people's problems and say, I can fix that. And it doesn't even matter if you start doing it for free anyway, because the point is you will be getting experience doing it and just enforcing in your identity, because this is all that happens all the time. You start with the belief, and then you look for examples in your life of that belief that you can enforce it. Because right now, you can just enforce the same thing. You can enforce, I'm a lazy piece of shit. I'm sure you'll have a million reference experiences in your life of you being a lazy piece of shit. But you are going to be focusing on the times that you solve problems. If you're smart. Are you smart? Because if you are smart, you'll be signing up to Jordan Shanks, where I'll be solving heaps of your problems for the smallest economic utility you could possibly imagine. I'll be solving more of your problems than BHP fucking ever will. I'll tell you that right now, especially if you're an Australian student, am I right? But it's just so cheap and you get so much value out of it. You'd be a damn fool not to sign up. And if you don't think that your life is instantly going to solve, like you think all of these hundreds of videos are good, wait until you see the hundreds of videos that are behind that. If that doesn't solve some of your problems, and if it doesn't solve it for the smallest amount possible, usually like the candy money. We're talking about little candy money when you were at bloody high school or whatever, being like, dude, give me some money for a Coke, please. Like that level of money. If you don't have that level of money to invest on yourself, then I don't know what you think is going to get you a better return on yourself than investing in yourself. Nothing else ever is going to get you a better return than investing in yourself, ever. Stock market won't do it. Housing, not a chance. You would be able to absolutely double your income very quickly if you started investing in yourself. Absolutely, you could do that. Anyway, I'll see you around.